There are certain people who seem to live life on a level that can only be described as remarkable. Such a person is Michael Matz. A national and international riding career in the Grand Prix ring is only the start of a life story that includes training a Kentucky Derby winner and surviving a deadly plane crash. Michael Matz has lived a life, any part of which would have been more than enough for most of us.
In the fastest time, too, welcome back Michael Matz to Devon. And Michael Matz has 2 in. What a remarkable trip.
One large part of the Michael Matz story is his career in show jumping. Starting as a teenager in Shillington, Pennsylvania, the life of a young groom turned into a life of riding. First at local shows, and by 1973 in Europe. His riding style was different. He sat on a horse like no one I had ever seen, says longtime trainer Tim Ritchie. He's a natural, a great athlete with great balance. He just sees horses differently than the rest of us.
Well, I'd say my riding style, I hope it would be a classic riding style. You know, obviously what Bert and Emily taught us riding for the U.S. team was a classic style. I might not have been the biggest winner there was, but I think I was pretty consistent and won my share by being consistent.
Michael's first Olympics was in 1976 in Montreal. Between Olympics, 16 years, he soon became the winningest rider ever on the American Grand Prix Association circuit, a title he would hold for many years.
Well, I think Upperville was a place that you knew the community put a big effort into making that Grand Prix special. And it was something special about going up and down those hills and the crowd response and the effort that they put on to make a special event. And it was just something that you get a feeling that you go to a show and you can ride good at that spot. My horses usually went well, and I just always looked forward to riding at Upperville.
Very well done here, Michael. A master of jumping the angles. You see how he jumped the angles of those jumps so that he was ready for the next turn. And Jay, I don't know. Looking pretty good for Michael Matz with 2 seconds.
Oh, yes.
Less than his wife, Dee Dee.
What a remarkable trip.
How do you go home tonight after that?
That was one of the finest rides that we have seen in a jump-off in a long, long time.
There were many Grand Prix that ended with Michael and wife Dee Dee, also a champion rider, finishing at the top of the prize list. It made for some interesting conversation.
Well, sometimes those rides were an awful long ride going from Upperville to Pennsylvania, but she's a great rider herself, and you know, she wants to win just as much as anybody does. It was a lot of fun competing with her.
Amazing things just seem to happen to some people. For Michael Matz, that also came in the form of a tragedy. In 1989, Michael and soon-to-be wife Dee Dee were returning to Philadelphia on United Airlines Flight 232. The flight never arrived. The plane crashed in Sioux City, Iowa. 111 passengers would not survive. Somehow, Michael and Dee Dee did. After leading 3 children to safety, Michael went back into the wreckage and saved an 11-month-old girl. Add hero to the legend of Michael Matz. It's his accomplishments in the Grand Prix ring that place him in the show-jumping Hall of Fame. Michael is a 3-time Olympian, helping his U.S. team to a silver medal in Atlanta and getting the honor of carrying the nation's flag at closing ceremonies.
We won a silver medal in the team competition. I can't tell you the feeling walking in that stadium and know all the people were, you know, just rooting for the United States, and you were the one that was representing the United States by carrying the flag.
He rode in 3 World Championships, winning a team gold. He won 8 Pan American Games medals, 5 of which were gold. His partnership with Jet Run, another Hall of Famer, was significant. Michael and Jet would win both team and individual gold at the 1979 Pan Am Games.
In 1980, when I was hoping to take him to the Olympic Games in Moscow, which we did not compete in, he probably was the best horse I had. He had everything. He had unbelievable ability. He was a winner. He was fast. He started in the jumping in the big classes when he was 4 years old, and he finished when he was 16. So I would say he was the best horse I've ever ridden.
Michael Matz has career earnings in jumping of nearly $2 million. He has won every major American Grand Prix, including the Budweiser American Invitational in Tampa Stadium.
The greeting for Michael Matz, who has won this event 3 times, in 1977, in 1978, and again in 1979. 20th anniversary of his 3rd and final victory here. And now back on Judgment.
And Judgment's ready. This horse is really ready.
Must be
yes, indeed.
He is cleared. 1.88 seconds above the time allowed, though. Clear here at Devon.
Michael Matz is a 2-time AGA Rider of the Year and an unmatched 6-time winner of the United States Equestrian Team Championship Trophy. With all that winning as a rider, it's ironic that many recognize Michael Matz for the latest chapter in his life, trainer for the thoroughbred champion Barbaro.
Well, when he first came to me in the spring of his 2-year-old year, the people who broke Barbaro said that he was, I had his older brother, and they said, wait till you see his younger brother. Well, the younger brother came, and he wasn't so little. And everybody that rode him was very impressed the way he went. He was just very well balanced, and he had a demeanor about him that, you know, he just knew he was a good horse.
His meticulous approach in training horses for the sport of jumping would pay off on the racetrack. In 2006, Barbaro would win the Kentucky Derby. But then, tragically, only 2 weeks later, would suffer a life-threatening injury at the Preakness. It was an up-and-down fairy tale that would only contribute to the Michael Matz legend.
It had happened so fast between the Derby and the Preakness that we really didn't get a chance to enjoy what a good horse he was. In the last year, we just really realized what a good horse and what really he did, and I think not just his legacy in racing, but what he did for the racing community and horses in general. How he brought people together was just amazing.
Michael enters the Show Jumping Hall of Fame as one of America's top riders of all time. His style is pure athleticism, coupled with an uncommon knowledge of the horse. His talents as a rider and a trainer don't seem to have boundaries. And the exciting part of the Matz legend is that it's hard to predict what might be next.
Well, one thing about horses, they'll put you in your place pretty quickly, and the minute you think you have them figured out, the next day you'll say, I can't get over that fence. I can't win a race. And it's just one of those things. There's always challenges in horses. Each year now, the beginning of the spring, you're looking for the horse that maybe could take you to the Derby or will take you to the Breeders' Cup. You hope one day you have a champion, as we did in Barbaro. So it's something that you look forward to each year. I'm enjoying it right now.